Welcome everyone to my very first top 10 video. Hopefully, none of these choices will be a shock for those of you who know me pretty well. And if you don't know much about what kinds of movies I appreciate and admire, maybe this video will reveal where my interest lies in great animated films. So, without further ado, here are my top 10 favorite animated movies. Wreck-It Ralph laughs in the face of simple stories. It has one of the best twist villains, who was way too scary for me as a child. The payoffs hit hard. I remember watching this movie for the very first time and having no clue how they were going to pull off a happy ending. This scene where Ralph breaks Penelope's car is one of my favorite scenes of all time. Everything is set up so well, and you completely understand everyone's different decisions. It is fantastic.
Now shall you deal with me, O Prince, and all the powers of hell!
This one might seem odd to some, but there is no doubt in my mind that Sleeping Beauty belongs here. To be honest, I'm surprised how low it ended up. This is Disney's best looking animated movie. Period. Once Upon a Dream is my favorite love song Disney has, even above I See the Light, but that one is a close second. The plot is very simple, but that doesn't mean it's of low quality. Maleficent is a great villain, and Aurora and Philip's stories intertwine enough that you get pretty invested by the end. It's a timeless story with timeless animation to accompany it. Sleeping Beauty will be remembered forever.
Aha! It's bear season! Hey, I'm gonna bust you up, Plum Thumb, and then I'm gonna wear your clothes! That was weird.
What a modern masterpiece it is. When I talk with people about The Last Wish, I can't just say it's good. I always say it's shockingly good. Any argument for a lack of time for characters in any movie goes down the drain after watching this film. It juggles 3 completely different sets of villains, a ton of top-tier jokes, and our main character's trio. Every character gets ample time for you to get invested with them. Not a second is wasted here. Every line is either telling a joke, fleshing out a character, or doing both. Huge recommendation if you haven't seen it yet.
Hey, Lightning, you ready?
Oh yeah, lightning's ready.
For the life of me, I do not understand why so many people dislike Cars. It was my favorite movie for a very long time. I had Cars pillowcases, Cars bed sheets, a Cars toothbrush, and a lot of Cars toys, some of which I still have. Lightning's character arc, going from a narcissistic rookie to someone who realizes the importance of putting others above himself, was very impactful to me as a kid. Lightning had the chance to be the first rookie to win a Piston Cup, but he willingly gave it up. It's an amazing movie that doesn't get enough praise. I'm 100% going to make a review praising it one day.
What trail?
The trail that we blaze!
This movie goes hard. The songs and animation are fantastic. Miguel and Tulio are so entertaining. El Dorado is probably my most watched movie of all time. The comedy works so well. Somehow I still laugh after probably 20 plus watch throughs. It's probably my second most quoted movie of all time.
We need a miracle. No, we need to cheat. What's happening here?
We're both in barrels. That's the extent of my knowledge.
The dialogue between these two characters is on another level. It's ridiculous. As I've gotten older, I've noticed a lot more problems with the plot, but the characters keep me coming back over and over again. El Dorado is the least popular movie on this list, and if you haven't seen it, I very much recommend.
Slow down.
He works for Kingpin. He tried to kill me.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
This movie is kinda crazy, not gonna lie. It has pushed animation forward in a huge way. It looks crazy good. I am super invested in Miles, Gwen, and Peter's stories. I suppose it helps that I've been obsessed with Spider-Man for forever, basically, but this movie does extremely well setting up these characters in a way that we can relate to and root for. Peter and Miles' mentor/apprentice relationship is great. The way both of them learn from each other is set up and executed so well. Into the Spider-Verse is going to be a movie I watch over and over again for a very long time.
But a peach cannot defeat Tai Lung.
Maybe it can.
Kung Fu Panda is one of the most inspiring animated movies. Po's character is so easy to empathize with. You feel for him when everyone puts him down, and you root for him because of his perseverance and humility. Tai Lung is one of my favorite villains of all time. On your first watch, you might be thinking to yourself that he's pretty shallow for a villain, until his fight with Shifu. This is how you do fight scenes. Not only is it delicious to look at, it is so character driven and uses the fight to flesh out both Tai Lung and Shifu. I'm currently planning to do a dedicated video talking about fight scenes, and this one is the quintessential example of how to do one perfectly.
I do not know this god. Neither will I let your people go.
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Baby Giraffe, why have you put the best animated film at number 3? Shouldn't it be number 1? Well, dear viewer, although The Prince of Egypt is the greatest musical of all time, has some of my favorite animation of all time, has amazing characters that have some of the best emotional resonating scenes of all time, and has wonderful themes about God's power and faithfulness towards his people, yeah, there are 2 movies I like more. I would indeed say that The Prince of Egypt is the best animated film. It's undoubtedly a masterpiece. But you know what I like even more?
Girls, come on. Leave the saving of the world to the men? I don't think so. I don't think so.
It is hard for me to express how much appreciation I have for this film. It's crazy to think about. The Incredibles is the best superhero movie of all time. The characters, plot, animation, and action got me hooked as a kid, and I haven't looked back. The animation, for the most part, holds up. The plot is extremely engaging and nearly perfect. The characters are given so much depth. Bob almost becomes a murderer after Syndrome tries to kill his family. This movie is intense. The message the movie promotes is also great. You have a superhero who had the best life he could possibly want. He loses it, gets the chance to have it again, and then he realizes that his family is the best part of his life, not the glory days he had before. And now, for my number 1 pick, my favorite animated film.
There he is, Mr. Evil Overlord.
It makes me so happy to see how many people are rediscovering this movie and realizing how great it is. As a comedy, Megamind succeeds on every level. Every character is able to deliver their jokes completely in character. Megamind is my most quoted movie by far.
Oh, don't like that, huh? Well, there's more.
You did the fool thing all by yourself.
Look, I'm not sure where to go with that!
The whole movie is hilarious. The plot is fantastic. There's deception, romance, betrayal, and subversive reveals that make Megamind the go-to movie to watch with people who have never seen it before. The messages and themes are also fantastic. In a world that constantly looks to blame others instead of taking personal responsibility for who you are in life, Megamind does a great job showing us that no matter where you find yourself, and no matter what anyone says, you can take personal responsibility into your own hands and determine who you are, apart from what anyone wants or believes you to be. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please feel free to comment your top 10 animated movies below. If you don't want to write the whole list out, that's fine. I'm just very interested in finding out what everyone considers to be their favorite movies and why. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Stop it!
Miriam, no.
Somebody's got to stop this!
There's nothing that we can do.
Maybe it can. If you are willing to...
Kill them!
How? How? death ray.
One more thing I thought I'd mention, I do have a review for Megamind. It's the only one out of my top 10 I actually have a review for. If you would like to check it out, it is right over here.